Alright, so before you guys start wondering what craziness I'm doing here, I'm more or less showing you guys an example of what it is you need to at least try to achieve in terms of your hub layout. So I'm not going to go into anything too detailed, anything technical about movement and whatnot. We're more or less going to start at the bottom and figuring out, a hub layout that works perfect enough for you. But keep in mind, this hub layout is based on a 3-finger claw or paw setup. There's 2 categories I look for in my hub. 1, how consistent and smooth it makes my movement, and 2, how well it matches my playstyle. Now my playstyle, I break it down into subcategories. Again, how explosive it allows me to be, and 2, the level of accuracy I can achieve with that layout. Alright guys, so let's check this out. So as you can see, my layout is more or less close to the default layout. Apart from the buttons, my 3 fingers are going to be controlling. These are completely different. Now, I want to say, if you guys intend to copy my layout exactly how it is, it may not benefit you as well as it will benefit me. Because keep in mind, I may play on a different device as you. I may have bigger fingers, smaller fingers, or whatever. So when you use my layout, adjust it to suit what's best for you. So to help you with this, we all look at our fingers differently. Our fingers are not the same. Some are longer, bigger, have different ranges of motion, etc. So what it is you want to look for in terms of your positioning of each of your buttons, you want to look at, say, how comfortable it is with your range of motion of your fingers. And keep in mind for how long you're going to be doing this, because some players tend to be playing for hours on end. And if your fingers are not comfortable, you're just going to be suffering and then you're just not playing at your best. It's as simple as that. So to start off, if you look at the top left corner, my left index finger is going to be controlling my aim button, my crouch, prone and slide button, as well as my skill class. So pay attention to the size of those buttons as well as the spacing in between them. Again, with your finger range of motion, you want to be able to cycle through those buttons without any mispressing, and this is more or less what it is I came up with. Alright, so check this out. I'll show you the level of accuracy I can achieve with my hub layout. It's a small clip from one of my previous videos, so as you saw right there, I turned on that guy, locked on, and then easily took him out. So you guys saw that, right? I did that so easy. Now, ask yourself if you're able to achieve this with your hub layout. So basically what it is I want to teach you guys is that you want to be able to set goals along the way as you're figuring out your hub layout. Switch around your buttons and then test them out and see if they meet those requirements in terms of what it is you want to achieve. Now let's move on to our movement button in the bottom left corner, in which most players would use their thumb to control. Now there's a little more to this one, so let me explain. As you can see above it, the run icon, you need to have this close to your movement button as much as possible, in which you don't have to drag up your movement button far enough to activate the run. So it's just a slight adjustment you need to do and then you start to run. Now like I said, there's a little more to this one, in which I'm going to show you next. So as you can see in your basic settings, where I have always sprint, I have this turned on, as well as the sensitivity set to 80. Now keep in mind, at 80 I have the freedom to still walk when I just gently push up on my movement button, but also if I push further enough, I'm always sprinting. So the reason for this is it sort of minimizes the error of you not being able to slide as soon as you move forward on your button. That's just basically what it is. So next we're gonna move on to what my right thumb would be controlling. More or less, my right thumb is basically going to be controlling all those buttons you can see on the right, in terms of from my backpack all the way up until like exiting vehicles to my emote icons, controlling the mic, voice, etc. All of these buttons. So what it is that I want to keep my left thumb free, and all it really is that it's just going to be controlling my movement, because in this game you want to be constantly moving. And I wouldn't want to be stopping just to do something else. So I'm always moving around, whether it be looting or sliding towards a vehicle, etc. Always moving around. So in a sense, you look at how frequent you're going to be using a particular button to complement how fast you select it, and also what position you place that button. Also, as you get better with your hub layout and you're confident in terms of where your buttons are positioned and whatnot, you could play around with the opacity. Now, increasing the transparency in order to see, key areas around you in the background that your button doesn't cover. Say for example, an enemy may be hiding a position where your button might be hiding them. So you need to play around with your opacity and bring it down as low as possible. So for you sniper guys, my hub layout is perfect enough to do quick scoping as well as drag scoping. So in my next clip, you guys can see more about this. But if you don't know what drag scoping is, it's more or less where you tap your aim button for a quick second and then you shoot right away. It's kind of like a blind shot, I would say. For me, I always favored quick scoping compared to hard scoping. I mean, if you get carried away with hard scoping, you could get easily killed. Someone can just fall right behind you from the sky in a helicopter and just easily take you out. So that's one of the reasons why I don't choose hard scoping. And that's more or less why I have my hub set up for this. Also, I try my best to stay away from sniping. I mean, you guys have all experienced this most of the times in terms of where your bullets never really hit. So for this example, I'll show you what I mean. So I see this guy across here, I shoot him once, twice, none of my bullets register. If you play that video back, you could clearly see my crosshairs are directly on his chest and none of my bullets hit him. So that's why I tend to stay away from sniping. But overall, I mean, I still get the job done, so it's whatever. Now, my last piece of advice to you guys is practice makes perfect, so use it. And that's it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.